All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and get moving before it gets too late, because we're always late for everything. It's 12:30 now, yeah, we're late. So, real quick, thank you guys all for coming. It's surreal and amazing to see you all. It's been a long time, and so much has happened between now and 2016 when we were last year, but it doesn't feel like that when I see you guys, so it's really cool to reconnect. We're going to start today. I'm going to eliminate some of the stuff we're going to do just so we have time to get in some of the groundwork. But we're going to start with a quick standing drill and make sure everyone's kind of on the same page with some of the more like universal concepts of jiu-jitsu, some of the things that apply to every technique, every position, every transition. And then we'll kind of get into the nitty-gritty individual details that apply to very specific spots. So, Joe, do you mind if I borrow you real quick? So, we're going to play a little game, but before we play the game, we're just going to practice something we just call, you might have heard that term a billion times, but there are many different types of base, and you guys feel free to come in, bring it in if you need to see a little better. There's what's called a neutral base, right, where you're facing somebody and your feet are just kind of square to them, and then there's a staggered base, or a fighting base, where your legs are in sort of a diagonal faced out position, right? We're just going to skip right to the diagonal base right now. The idea with this base position, imagine, and you guys can stand up so you can feel this too, but imagine you're going to stand with your feet at a 90-degree angle. So your heels are touching and your toes are sticking out at a 90-degree angle. And now if you were to walk 1 foot forward at a time along those lines, the same distance, where you're kind of like tracing the path of a square and you bend your knees, that's kind of a good starting point for finding your fighting base, right? Now, when we do a fighting base, we generally want to be facing our opponent, right? So the idea with fighting base is that Joe wants to be stable in all 4 directions, forward, backwards, side to side, right? Now, because he only has 2 legs, he's never going to be stable at a diagonal. Of course, no matter how good the base is, if I move him in this direction, he's going to have to step, right? But he wants to be stable forward, backwards, side to side. If his legs are too narrow together, keep them wide for me, but stand in one line. If he's like this is great forward and backwards, right? I can push it in, resist me, don't let me push. Now if I pull you, same thing, resist me, don't let me pull, he's great. Problem is, side to side, he's crap. If he bases his legs the opposite way, same problem, right? Great side to side, not so good forward and back. So we're gonna find that middle ground, that in between, where we're relatively stable in all 4 of the directions. As we test each other on this, we wanna make sure that we're staying true to forward, backwards, side to side, not testing each other at a diagonal where we can't stabilize, right? So when I go to push, he feels good. When I go to pull, he feels good. When I move him a little bit to the side, he feels good. This side, he feels good. So let's just start with that. We'll partner up, grab our partner, start with this 90-degree angle, step out, equidistant, find a good balanced position where you feel stable in all 4 directions yourself, and then have your partner just gently test you side to side and forward and backwards. Cool? All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. There you go. All right. That was really good. I'm going to go first.
Yes, the fact that you kind of did that correctly.
I was wondering if I was maybe.
So, you're, I know, my face is supposed to low, but it means that I'm going to be on this side. If someone pushes me, that won't be here. And then somewhere between, I'm constantly, by the way, it's not, you can't see it, but I am doing this with my phone. So now I don't know what's happening in my phone. Yeah, see, when I did it, I had to start like that too. Yeah. Yeah. True. What can we?
Yeah, I can see that your feet are very wide. And I think if you just don't shorten your stance, keep them wide, but step a little bit back. Yeah, so we're facing each other right now. This looks pretty good. Squat on the lower side. I push you this way. I think before you lift a little bit, we're just noticing. Yeah. We're just noticing that
It's very important. Yes. Yeah, you feel like solid.
I don't know if you're with your back foot, make sure that it's turns forward. Yeah, that's what it's perfect. It felt less speedy. But I have mobility. Here I have more stability.
Once you start showing
Yeah, right now. Actually, I think Raquel's gonna be more stable. Yeah, till my. And I guess okay, do it again. A little more. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we said it.
Looks good, folks. An introduction to base, right? Now, Chris, I want to borrow this. We've played this game before. This is called Waterstone, right? It's not my game. This guy, Chris Burns, that teaches under Hicks and Gracie, showed us this game, and we've been showed by a few other people that are under Hicks as well. We use it in our class for it's a lot of fun. But Waterstone, basically, I'm going to be the one testing Chris's base here. I'm putting her on the spot. When I say water, we're both going to move around each other a little bit. When I say stone, she's going to freeze. Wherever she freezes, I'm going to test her base side to side, forward, backwards, water. So, I'm trying to catch her when she's a little bit off base. Okay, so that's my job, is to kind of get her in those moments where she's moving one foot a little bit too in line with the other, or one foot a little bit too wide, right? So if she's doing this game with me,
water.
okay, moving.
Stone. Water. Water.
make sense? All right, so one person will test, one person will be the whatever you call that, testee. Testee. Really bad. And then we're gonna switch. We'll switch roles in, I don't know, 30 seconds or a minute. Cool? Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
We're gonna do that again. 1, 2, 3. Okay,
That's funny.
Each other on this diagonal angle. No matter how good my base is, if she pulls me this way, I'm gonna have to step. And it's okay to step, but what we're really testing is our ability to not have to step so that we make sure we're in good base, right? So if she pushes me right now, I should be okay. If she pulls me, I should be okay. If she pushes me side to side, yep, I should be okay. I'm gonna be the one testing her. So I'm gonna say water, stone. Good. Water. See what happened right there. So one part of this game, one thing that's going to make things a little bit different now is that the arm that grips the collar, the hand that grips the collar, I want to keep that foot forward. The hand of mine that holds the sleeve, I want to keep that foot back. She's going to mirror the same thing. Hand that's on the collar is forward, foot is forward, yeah? Because if she's not, if you switch real quick, she's always going to be off base here, right? And that's where my throws would come from. Anytime I see someone with one foot back, one foot forward on the opposite side like that, it's very easy for me to fit in and get a takedown on the person, right? If she's sitting with the corresponding leg and arm forward, if I go to throw her, all you're gonna do is bring your hips forward, hit that. See that? She can counter my throws without even having to move her feet, or without having to jump over my hips or do anything, okay? So we're not doing any throws right now, again, just push and pull, but we want to make sure that the hand is on the collar, that foot is forward, okay? Other hand is on the sleeve, that's the foot that's back. I'm not looking down when I do this just because it's a bad habit in grappling. I want to keep my eyes level, okay? Water. So. That's it. Cool? Questions? Just 1, 2, 3.
Better.
Better clap. Okay.
Like, this is just like the fact that I do not do things before you, but I like follow the ring and the wrestle. No, I do too. I do too. Oh no, I didn't.
You know. Oh, you get water.
Okay. Great, awesome. You guys have any questions on that drill? It's a really good, yeah,
I feel like when we were doing it without the judo grips,
Yes.
like something was off in my pelvic tilt, like it wasn't appropriate for the forward and backwards
yeah,
pressure from my partner.
Yeah.
Like it throws me back to like something I remember you guys teaching me way back like 13 years ago about pelvic tilt and
Yeah.
closed guard.
yeah.
What's with the pelvic tilt?
So for the standing drill, I don't concern myself too much with overly tilting forward or backwards unless the person's pulling me in that direction. So if Chrissy is headlocking me, so you put me in a headlock, like schoolyard, yeah, I bring my hips forward, head up to counter that pull. Otherwise, my hips, as far as forward and backwards, are very neutral.
Yeah.
So whatever's comfortable for you, and it might be a little bit more or less depending on your anatomy. But if Chrissy's pulling me, for instance, let's say she pulls me and I keep this hip forward, pull, I might have to go. If she's pulling me and I rotate my hips to both square up with her and face her, it adds more weight to the backside of my body.
Right, so it's more hip rotation, less pelvic tilt.
Exactly.
If you're here, you're like
So even though
balancing
my
between the
feet
heels on your
stay the
toes.
same, my hips can turn side to side for sure. And that's something that, you know, obviously in judo they practice a lot. Anytime you're fitting in, your hip position is everything for a throw. And that has a lot to do with that, the push and the pull. Same thing if she's pushing me right now, if I'm too square with her, even if my base is good, I'll have to go. And you guys were figuring this out on your own. I didn't even have to say it, but if she goes to push me, if I like kind of turn my hips a little bit, it's much easier for me. So, and it was cool watching you guys because you were naturally doing that on your own. But that's a great thing to point out. Yeah, question?
But building up on that, I noticed, so for Jiu-Jitsu adaptation, where we don't start standing too much tall because we can go into legs, what kind of adaptation do you go for? More Jiu-Jitsu style, forward sit?
Yeah, when you initially start a match, my recommendation is always to stay at the same level as your opponent. So if we start a match, we stack hands, and Chrissy crouches down when she wrestled since she was an infant, I never want to come in. So I always want to match, and even if I never wrestled my whole life, it's going to be much harder for her to grab my legs if I'm at the same height. If you squat down to grab my legs right now, and I do the same thing, it's much more difficult for you to get to my legs before my hands can reach you. Now, once I have grips, it doesn't matter. If Chrissy crouches down to grab my legs, I keep my grips. Go ahead, grab my leg, grab it. Right? It's very difficult for her as long as I have my grips. So as long as we're, starting from a gripped up position, which of course in a match we would never do. That's not true actually. For blind competitors, they will start you here, but generally speaking, you won't start with grips. I would always just say make sure you match their level first until you get what you want. And I personally like to make my grips and let the person drop down to a leg because that opens up a lot of attacks for me to grab the belt. Because once I get the belt, I feel very comfortable being able to throw people. So, me personally, it depends on what you're good at, but I know you've done some judo, some aikido and stuff, so yeah. Any other questions or comments? Cool. So, going to the ground, guys. A little bit more specific details and positions. We're going to talk about side mounts today, okay? And I want us to talk about side mount in terms of self-defense and for the top person having the ability to strike us as well as submit us, mount us, knee on belly us, do whatever else to us, right? Generally speaking, when we're in side mount, depending on how she's holding me, it's going to dictate how I escape, right? She can have both arms over like she just did. She could be hugging my neck. She could have both arms back. She could have one arm over, one arm back. She could have her hips turned to one side or another. All this stuff is going to facilitate or necessitate a different escape strategy, or at least a different survival position for me, okay? Starting from square one, if she has both arms over, just like a basic tabletop side mount, right? She's pinning me with her chest. We're completely perpendicular to each other. Right now, she can elbow me in the head. Good. You can do it. You can do it. I know you want to. She can elbow me, and she can knee me, right? And it does help to give each other a little contact when we do this, right? So, first thing that I'm always going to try to keep in mind is that I want my arm underneath her arm, okay? If my arm is in any other spot, it's okay for certain purposes, but by and large, if it's between her arms, like this, it's trapped between her arms, I can't protect her from punching my belly right now, or elbowing my belly, my ribs, right? If my hand is here, same problem, right? If my hand is here, same problem. So if she wanted to punch me in the ribs right now, I want to keep my arm underneath her arm so that I can flare it open like that anytime she tries to reach for my stomach or for my ribs. I can reinforce that with my knee if I need to. Because you get someone that's really strong and really determined to hit you, your arm might not be enough. You can always open your knee up to help with that, okay? Now, the other thing I want to consider is elbows, right? If my head is on the ground like this, it's great defense for guillotines and things like that to keep my head down. If she wanted to elbow me in the face, though, nothing stops her, right? So I want to keep my ear glued to her tricep like this. No matter how hard she tries to elbow me. See that? My head is too close for her to physically make contact with the tip of her elbow. Right? My head's any further down that lever, she can get me. So keeping my ear glued, eyes up to the ceiling is going to be a big component of that. The other thing she can do is knee me in the face right here. Boom, right? Not good. I always want to keep my arm tracking that knee. Sometimes it'll be closer to the hip. If she's loading that knee up to knee me with it, it'll be closer to the actual knee itself, somewhere along the femur here. And I'm using not my hand, but my forearm to always account for that. Okay? Now she can't punch me with this arm, right? She can't elbow me with this arm. She can't knee me with this leg. If she tries to knee me with the other leg, great. Now, okay? Anytime she brings that leg back, my knee is going to fill that space and replace guard, okay? So I'm not verging and bumping and turning and trying to twist to put her in the guard. I'm keeping myself safe and surviving the damage until she opens up a window for me to bring my knee through, point my knee to the ceiling, keeping my head tipped the whole time, continue to scoot out until I end up on her back, if you will, okay? make sure that when you guys practice, you have both arms over, okay? When she changes her arm position, it'll change my escape, and we'll get into a couple of those, okay? Top person with both arms over. Before we do any escapes or any changes in the position, I just want you guys to feel very safe here, okay? Head is tight, eyes to the ceiling. This arm here is not just undercutting, but reaching for the ceiling, and I'm flaring my elbow open, okay? A good sort of visual cue that guy Chris Burns that I was telling you about taught us is to imagine yourself as a beach ball of death, all right? So your body is expanding in all directions, all right? So you're not doing this, okay? You're here. So anytime the partner wants to hit you, your frames are all flaring, okay? As that knee comes back to meet you, that's gonna be your time to go. Does that make sense? Questions on that? Cool? All right, let's feel it. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Pull it back a little bit. That's where I feel like the best is.
So that's the beach ball of death.
You're sneaking this hip across this hip there. So now we're trying to move all the way across.
Now he said, bring your knee.
So I'm trying to meet here. Bring his left knee all the way across. And then you capture the foot in there. And now put your left knee like keep going it. Like, that's how I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be here and then you put your knee in. Yeah.
See? we're not, I was thinking of groin shots, like they're trying to put you in the groin. Like, I don't UFC days, that's why I was like, so this. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to be like this,
So then you are. So now you're trying to get yourself back out. And then when you go up and you across it. Yeah, actually just like yeah, it is a self-defense thing. Most people will not know what. Yeah.
All right, time. This is great, guys. Awesome. So we're gonna keep going with this now. So yeah, I guess Chris, you've seen all this stuff. I know it's confusing, but if Chris is down, she's got this control over me. No, I'm sorry, I was looking a little bit. We're here, right? You have your underhook. You're blocking the knees. You're blocking the elbows. Keeping the head up. If I try to punch the ribs, don't forget you can only use your knee to reinforce that sort of distance management there, right? Now, instead of bringing my knee back and giving her the guard or my back, what if I just sit up and start punching, right? She can't really stop that, okay? So Chris is on top. We're here, right? We're blocking everything. If she sits back on her knees, I follow her up. So I'm never letting her open that space between me and her, okay? I post my hand right away, keep my head glued to my partner. From here, you can tackle, you can run to the back, or a million things that I'm sure you guys all know to do from there. But the most important thing is to keep your ear glued no matter what. Okay? So that ear-head connection right here, as she sits up, I go to my elbow, I move my hip back a little bit, go to my hand, go to my knee. Okay? And then like I said, from here, there are 1,000,001 things that you can do to get on top. Okay? So we're not just sort of satisfying ourselves with putting the person in the guard. Okay? Any opportunity, any exit strategy our partner gives us to get on top, we want to take advantage. If she sits up like that, maybe I can try to put her in the guard, but I'm still underneath my partner. And if she was good enough to get the side mount one, she's probably good enough to get there again. So instead, I'm keeping my head glued the whole time, and that connection never leaves. All right, she sits back, fill the space. Keep coming up with her. Okay? And then from here, whatever you want to do to get on top is fine. Questions on that? One more transition she could do, so that you have two practice. One is her sitting up and keeping my ear glued. Another thing that she might do is turn her hips north, like face up, and punch me in the face. But I didn't actually punch me. So from there, right? Go back again. Keeping everything tight. She might decide to turn north at any moment. So I keep that arm lifting the ceiling. I never give her a chance to sit through and settle. Alright? And then from here, close. Along the back. You're in a much better position than I was. Okay? So one more time. She sits up to her knees. Keep my ear glued. If she turns, go ahead, turn. My left arm here is extending up to the ceiling. Okay? My right elbow here is coming in close towards my body while my left hand reaches for the side. Okay? So what we're doing is creating our sort of egg shaping our head this way. Instead of keeping our arm down and keeping our neck extended where she can headlock me or worse yet, in case of, right? If the worst case scenario is if she sits through, she hugs my neck, she picks up my elbow, now stuff to the head, it's not good. So do that one set, right? Arm lower, start from the beginning. We're here, she turns, right? Reaching straight for the ceiling the whole time until we get behind the partner. Cool? Questions? Good? Yeah.
You're walking your hips injury as you're turning?
Yeah, if I need to. Depends on how tight she is to me, but I do want to make sure I get to my side.
Oh yeah, no, I was just thinking like, I'm going slow, but obviously I am going to try to.
Yeah, it depends on how tight of a hold she tries to get on me. Sometimes she might turn, her hips might be glued to me, you know what I mean? or she creates a lot of space. I don't really need to walk much at all. Like, yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. But yeah, like the way that she just turned here, I scooted myself, scattered. Yeah, I will say scattered.
Nasty.
Yeah. So just enough so that you have the freedom to move after she turns. So that she's not sitting on your lap, because then it's going to be hard to take her back. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's try that. 1, 2, 3.
Starting and then you back up to basically go to the base and go up. Particularly this arm kind of already low, and then my legs were kind of already up too. So then you have to
That's why the head is really important, because you don't want to just, obviously you don't want your head lagging there. Also, when you sit up, you have to yeah, yes. Yeah, that's it. You're just kind of falling down the side. Going slow and like really stepping down for a second.
Grab her They're actually trying to
I do it for control. Scoop your butt back. Scoop your butt back.
Yes, yes. The longer she
So then I'm going to do the water sit up. I sit up. This way. Oh, the bottom of my head.
Left side.
Punch. Switch.
Fill the space by coming to your elbow. Yep. If I come up higher, come up to your hand. So as tall as I get, you just keep filling that space. If I were to stand up, you would stand up to flip my back.
Yes.
Yes. So it doesn't matter how high they come up, you just keep following them. That magnet in your ear is always going to stay glued to their armpit. And the stability, you're just going to build a little structure with your elbow and your hand and your knee and your feet. Okay? Of course. Any other questions? Okay, if the person just wants to hold us, okay? See, you know where you're looking? Keep that in there. I have my underhook, let's just say, right here. He doesn't want to punch it. So this is a different problem now, right? Punches create opportunities to escape. Strikes, you know, we're closing the distance from standing, right? If he's just holding me down and I just wait here, then we're just locked in forever. So I need a way to create momentum. And sometimes people are doing that by bridging. Sometimes people do that by shrimping. And all those are fine. It's just they don't create a whole lot of space if the person's much, much, much bigger than me, right? So I'm still keeping my arm position tight and keeping my head up just in case, because I don't know if he's going to change behaviors. But if he's just holding me now, look, I can bump pretty high. As I come back down, his body fills the space. I can shrimp pretty easily, but he can come with me, right? So what I'm gonna do instead, you got me? Is I'm gonna whip. Okay? So I'm gonna become a merman for a minute. And I'm gonna tail it until I get out. And I'm gonna do it as many times as I need to until I can free myself. So what I'm doing is this, I'm connecting my big toes, I'm crossing them. I'm not crossing my ankles, I'm crossing my big toes, and I'm extending my legs straight. I'm gonna whip away from my partner's legs first, then towards. See that? Once I'm on my side, I can turn and get up very easily, okay? The whole thing that I'm trying to do by whipping my legs is rotate my shoulders, okay? The problem when he's on top, not really yet, but he's keeping my shoulders pointed to the ground, which limits the ability of my hips to turn and face it because I'm out of alignment, right? When I whip one way and the other, I have the momentum that I can generate enough force to turn my shoulders. Now I'm facing my opponent. I can bring a knee in, or ideally for me, I can get up and get on top, okay? So he's on top. He's not punching me, right? Go over. Over here. Don't use too much energy as the person on bottom straining, resisting right now. Relax to the degree you can. But keep in mind that if he goes, to start punching me again, you're going to have to react accordingly, however that is. So don't be too comfortable, right? But once we're here, he's just holding, or maybe we're just grappling. I know he's not going to punch me, right? Big toes crossed, extend the legs straight, whip away first, and then towards. Might just be one. If he's squeezing, might be 2, 3. See the idea? So now, if you back up real quick, just so you guys can see, my shoulders are stacked in space right now. Okay? They're not turning this way. They're not flat. They're completely stacked, one over top of the other. That's what makes it easy for me to get up. Make sense? All right, guys, let's give this a shot. Watch your space when you whip your legs. Okay? And I almost want us to do a drill before we do this. Yeah, let's do that. Can you stand up for me? Yeah. This is a little exercise you can do to get used to this motion. He's going to stand. I'm going to go on my back. I'm going to hold his ankles. I'm going to straighten my legs, crossing the big toe. Knees are straight. And I'm just whipping gently side to side. Just like that. Side to side. Some people call it a pocket knife drill. Okay? But that's going to get you used to generating momentum with your legs such that you can rotate your shoulders. You're always trying to get your bottom shoulder behind you this way. When you turn your side, you're not trying to turn to your side while keeping the bottom shoulder stationary. You're trying to whip so that your bottom shoulder slides behind you on the ground. Make sense? Let's start with the drill first, and we'll go back to the side. Question? Good? Let's try 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just watch your space, don't whip each other in the head.
That actually looks fun.
Offline, so I might ask, when I go to John, next time I go to the gym with John Luke, I'm like, wait, let me hold your ankles. Bro, what's up? And he's like, he sees that, you know?
I think everyone felt those lectures.
I know. They're very core heavy. Yeah, I like those too. I just do those myself with the, with the wall or the beam. Is people? Yeah, so there's trash right here, right in front of this. There's a little hole, okay? See it? On that side, if you flip around, okay?
There's a lot of points.
So it's very core heavy.
Yeah, it's really right. Oh my god, it's very like, you feel very centered.
Yeah, I like this one because it's one of the best things to do.
Oh, 100%.
I'm controlling your legs. I don't know if I'm going to show it to you, but just leave it right there for a second and I'll go to the trash can. I don't know.
There you go.
There's a very
Good job.
of this with the headlock already.
I was with the headlock already.
But I did really
Alright guys and gals, how's everyone doing energy-wise and just material-wise? Yeah. Bandwidth-wise? Yeah. Okay.
Physical, good, check.
Questions? You guys have any questions on the tail width? I can't emphasize how helpful that movement is to you. That's gotten me out of so many freaking side knots. It's ridiculous. Normally my strategy is to wait for the person to mount, wait for them to go for submission, create an opportunity for movement. But there are times where you just have to escape, and especially if you compete or if you're in a self-defense situation on the street or something, side knot itself is not the most likely position you're going to be stuck in, but who knows? And if you need to get out, you need to get out. So what's cool too is that tail whip is very universal for any perpendicular body position, and even north-south, but particularly, headlock escapes, Kesigatami escapes, anytime someone is side-to-side with you and not mounted, that tail whip is invaluable. So another example of a tail whip, okay? And a little bit more maybe practical for grappling, because a lot of the time when people side mount you, they hug your neck, right? Go to your knees, hug my neck, and connect your hands, and she doesn't want to hit me anymore, okay? I can't underhook right now, right? If her hands are connected and her head is closed, I can't dig my hand through that gap. It's just not going to happen, right? If I just do a side-to-side tail whip, she's on her knees right now. Her leg is going to get in my way, right? I'm going to whip, and I'm going to boom, ram into her thigh, and I'm going to lose that momentum. So instead of a side-to-side tail whip, I'm going to do a big circle. So I'm going to swing my legs in a circle to get my bottom shoulder out, okay? My bottom hand is going to collect your arm. My top hand is reaching for the ground. I'm going to glue my forehead to the mat, turn to my knees, and then run, control one time. Okay? So again, instead of just escaping, being satisfied with guard, we're always looking for opportunities to get on top. Okay? So one more time. I don't have the underhook. She's got my neck. Very, very common problem, and I'm sure a lot of you guys in here use this. It's one of the more common things in wrestling as well, right? Side to side, we'll get stopped right about here. Okay? If her legs are back, right? If you're sprawling on me, I don't really need to even do a tail whip. I'm already out. I can already replace the arm, right? So it's more common. Someone's gonna have that knee in the way. So I'm doing a circular tail whip. I'm still swinging away first. But then I'm doing a big circle. At the end of that circle, I extend this arm and I pull my body over that. So my bicep, my top bicep, pushing on Chrissy's shoulder, and giving me a little bit of leverage to put that back shoulder behind me. And you come here, my hands are already here, right? So I'm looking like I'm doing a chin up. My other hand is reaching for the ground, and I'm pulling my forehead down. Turn to my feet. I'm driving off of my toes, and I'm not going to stop driving until I get on top. Okay? When I get on top, I'm going to turn around a little bit this way. I'm holding my own inner thigh. I'm keeping control of the arm, and I'm keeping my weight on Chrissy, not on the ground. Okay? I don't want to do too pressure, but when you bring your weight off of the ground, you shift your weight on your partner, all of that pressure from your body is going to their near side ribs. Sometimes people will tap it out on and we need a submission. You gotta feel it when you get on top. So one last time. Here, swing away, big circle, reach, make sure your shoulder's back first. Don't try to get up with your shoulder not back. Up, reach, in the head. Turn your knee. I'm not jumping over her. Don't try to get your legs over your partner. Just turn to your knees, drive, collect the head. As I knock her over, I'm extending my bottom leg, holding, and then shifting over. Questions? Yeah.
Compare that to Michelle with what you were doing with Timor. What was the difference in there versus the top person?
Yeah, she has sweat arms over before. Which means my body is a little bit further south relative to hers, which is why her leg isn't really blocking me. So when I have an underhook here, you can see how much freedom of movement my legs have right now.
Because you have the underhook.
Right? She has the underhook, she's a little bit more south. She's close to my hips. So her leg's going to be right my way right now. I'm just going to go full and I'm going to do that and then I'm going to try to do it. So that's how we're doing it. No questions? Other questions? Let's try. We'll keep it.
I think that's nice.
First this way, right? Up, circle, up.
Do it again with your
So upper like this. Oh, like that? Oh, you want me to do it up here? Do it again. No, I did. Yeah, actually. Get your knees up.
Right, and then, yeah, because I was having I mean, it's smart, if I'm in that, I'm smart to still play, and get this on top. But what I also want to do is, yeah, it makes sense.
Oh yeah, so when you, once you are able to get on your shoes, when you're turning, yep, now
This is like the worst because she can throw her shoulder and her bicep into me now. It's really hard for you to hold it. And then I go, oh, that's good for her. Sorry. How's it? Oh, yeah. Shut up. I know, it's like, I feel it all in my upper.
It's good. It almost feels like one of them, one of them.
Yeah. You want to try it? Here.
Yeah, chiropractic all the time.
She's like, but I usually do it to myself.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. And I'm just keep walking. Yes. Oh, you got the lower part of my cervical. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, and then I Okay.
Now when you put them
Is it like a base thing or a power thing? Okay.
because if someone tripped on you, while you're doing that,
Yeah.
they're really fast.
Oh, okay.
That way it's like, can I walk my so she goes flying over you like a marble.
Okay.
Exactly.
Karen, what?
I'm just saying, like, people can trip on the mat, and then if they fall over your leg while your knee is out of alignment,
Yeah.
that will hurt.
Yeah.
But if you put your foot on the ground anyway, correctly, and then drive your back into the
Yeah, that's, you're right.
not too much because you don't want to
Oh,
get
yeah.
swept.
So,
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to stay on the side because if you stay too much in the middle, you're like straight.
Yeah.
You'll feel
Serve you. She can serve you.
Yeah, baby.
But then I guess
Yeah.
You can, and sometimes it's very simple. Like I'll just continue to roll with you. Yeah, you don't know when I tend to muscle things, but she's like, oh, come back.
Hey, you don't have to yank. You have to
No,
do yourself.
you have to move yourself. You're like the bottom of where the seesaw is. You know, when you see the seesaw, yeah, you gotta figure out how to move your body and how to move their body. I like that. That's good. Yes.
See, I'm learning it just as you are. Like me, when I'm this is the most surprise when you get basically see.
Yeah.
And then she said, just going forward. And she said, me up.
I already cracked my back.
It's been nice when so many people honestly, so grateful that Princess Judah. Yeah. She agreed to do the gi. No, the gi.
Oh.
You just wanted to do no gi.
Oh, really?
Can you imagine?
I feel like I haven't even done anything crazy.
Yeah, let's try it out. Right? We'll do it later when that one's back.
Okay. Did they say arm here is a necessity?
I don't remember, but I think that was
Oh, yeah.
because you need to hold my, yeah, you got my food, right?
Still works? Like the works?
Yeah, I guess if you flip over anything, you're making that space. Which side? I'll stand up. Just want to lay down for a
Right? Yeah. Doesn't it feel like you want to back to back? It feels like the back right here was back, right?
here and like around, you need to like be on the air and just like land.
That sounds really hard.
Yeah, so it's like the same motion that you do, but it's like circles to build that. And it's like this. So I'm spinning this way, that'll make my body work.
That sounds like people that know how to jump. After wait. It's easier when you're and maybe you
That's not good. Yeah. I don't know why I can't. I think this is my aggressive side.
Felt like it was possible, right?
Yeah. Do you ever try to go to the water?
Like this here, I just covered it.
yeah, he's bigger than me. He might want to see him.
Any last questions? So from a standing position, we put the water stone game, right? With grips, without grips, just how to kind of adjust our base, how to set up our base at least. And a couple people ask, like, it feels more comfortable when I turn the toes in versus that, blah, blah, blah. All that's fine. Like, all this is sort of very general as far as like where to start. General starting point. If you're teaching a class of brand new beginners and you talk to them about base, they might start and be like, oh, I'm in base right now, right? So you just want to make sure that, no, this looks like base. For them, they might have to adjust, they might have to turn, these little adjustments will depend according to your anatomy, your body type, your style, all that stuff. From the ground, initially we were just talking about the person throwing strikes inside, right? So if the person's on top, you just want to position yourself so that the strikes are being crowded, right? You want to fill the space that's created with strikes. And that's sort of the weakness of strikes on the ground in general, is that they create holes, right? They create space for the bottom person to move, which is why grappling is so effective, because you can hold something tight and transition from one spot to another without creating too much space. That's the goal on top. So throwing strikes, not that it's like always wrong or anything like that, it's just that it's going to create those openings. We're just learning how to identify them and take advantage of them, right? Person sits up, person turns the hips north, right? We're just shoving and slipping our head out. And then of course, if the person just standing, just planted, the tail whip side to side, you're probably going to use that more often than any other side knuckle skate. Now that you learn it, I use it constantly. I don't even think about using it for side knuckle skate.
Very free.
But if you can't swing the side to side tail whip without hitting the person's leg, that's when we do those circles. And Chrissy was just working over there with a couple people. The circle doesn't need to be this big dramatic thing all the time. Sometimes we just do little circles to create the same effect, depending on how hard our partner is holding us. Sometimes they're holding, but they're not super squeezing. So I might be able to just kind of jump my hips to the side while keeping my knees back. But if I feel she's full tilt, she's squeezing the crap out of me, I'm extending my legs as far as I can, and I'm doing as big a circle as I can to maximize that momentum so that I can get on top. But more importantly, so I can get to my side. Getting to our side is really the objective. Getting on top is sort of icing on the cake. Cool. Any questions before we wrap up? You guys good? Awesome. Good stuff. Thank you guys again for coming. Chris, if you want to say anything, I know that you like to give a little
I think this is perfect. I appreciate everyone for coming out. This is like a nice way to connect people that have been training for a long time and people that haven't seen each other in quite some time. It's been about 10 years since we've been in Philadelphia, so I think it's really great and special that we can always find a way to connect with Jiu-Jitsu. It's one of the best tools that we can have and really feel like we're actually just continuing like this long conversation even though we haven't had one.
That's great seeing you.
Let's do it.
That wall. I didn't bring along a wide lens, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this actually.
Just use your phone too.
Yeah. Take the light. Yeah, she's already setting up, and so is Mark. They know it now. I'm just gonna see their action.
Everybody's setting up all day.
All I know is like first.
Yeah, well, we have like a higher tier right now for the first.
Yeah, this is like
The first seminar we had 4 black belts.
Well, you guys go.
So cool.
No, it's fine. What? I'll control photo myself. Kidding. We'll do a timer.
The white belts are fortunate.
Yeah, I got a time.
This is what we do.
Are you gonna run in for the pictures? Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna go behind Joe there.
Wait, I need 10 seconds. Dave, at least 10
Where are
seconds.
you two trying to go? Where are you two guys going?
I'm gonna run there behind Joe.
There you go. That looks good.
Kevin, you running next to me?
Sure, make room for me, and I'll run next to
We'll
you.
make sure we got space back.
I'll run next to you.
Don't get hurt in the last minute. You're getting hurt. You're getting tired. Yeah, exactly. Well, good shot.
Alright, I'll just make it wider.
He's ready at any time.
I'm the one that always wins.
Ready?
Yep.
I don't know where I'm looking.
One went already.
I was looking at that.
Which one? We're gonna do one more for posterity. Hold on, one more, just in case. Ready? Okay.
Ready? Who's going first?
Look in the middle.
Okay, now. What do you think we got?
Nice.
Yeah, that was the mechanical.